239 Uncensored, everything Southwest Florida and beyond. And we are way beyond the 239. I have rock star, bass player, one of my really good friends. Dave and I have known each other for a long time. We had a blast. Dave, are you there?
I'm here. Hey, Timmy.
We got the split screen. Dave Santos, bass player.
It works.
And, I'm going to put something fun on the screen now. We've got like Dave Santos, the bass player for pretty much everybody in rock and roll. I mean, tell us a little bit about what are you doing now, Dave? Where are you at?
I'm in Nashville, Tennessee at the moment in my house, in my recording studio.
You're in Nashville, Tennessee. And I got a chance to come up and visit you. I think it was about a year and a half ago. And that was a kind of funny visit. I go, Dave, I'm downtown in Nashville.
Yeah.
Come hang out with us for a while. It took you like forever to find the place. You go, I'm a rock star. I don't go downtown in Nashville. That's where the tourists go. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it was late at night. First of all, you cops know how to party. Let me tell you. It was like about 11 o'clock, I think, when you called me. And get down here right now kind of thing. I was like, no, man, I don't know. I'm kind of in my pajamas.
A rock star, right? That's in his pajamas at 9. It was 9:30, and I think we planned it a couple days before. So I can give you a little credit.
Well, I jumped in the car and I raced down there, and it was great. It was great to see you. It was great.
Yeah, it's great.
Arm issues too.
It's awesome. What's that?
I was having some arm issues. Remember, my neck and arm stuff, like from.
Yeah. We talked about that for a while and talked about the surgery and potential things like that. So I'm hoping that's all working out for you and things are better on that side.
It's cool. Yeah. I'm all good now. Yeah.
So give me a rundown of where you are now. I know COVID's hit.
Ooh.
There's been a lot of things going on, and who are you playing with now? I know Melissa Etheridge. Is that where you're touring, or who are you touring with now?
Yeah. How you want a long story or short story on that one? I mean,
give me a long one. I love it.
Okay. Well, first of all, COVID came in, and everything stopped. So all live music began to phase out as it grew, and then there was no live music. So there were absolutely no gigs, no touring. Of course, all the musicians were freaking out, and they all went on unemployment. We're all, wow, what's going to happen? No one can gather in large gatherings, so no one has worked for over a year and a half. I guess going on 2 years pretty soon. So, all the musicians, we went all on rescue mode and tried to figure out how to help each other, and guys were doing things for each other for free. And I've done quite a few recordings that got in Rolling Stone magazine. Two of them did, actually, that were group efforts. The guitar player from Aerosmith and myself, and a couple of different people from around. Robert Plant's drummer, and Wendy, my beautiful wife. Wendy's a great singer, and she sang lead. And we had all these people guesting on these tunes, and we'd send them around from my studio and from other studios. This wonderful artist named Paul Brown, he's from Memphis. He was sort of engineering the whole thing, and he plays with a band called the Waterboys. And you can go on Rolling Stone if you want to hear these tunes. Rolling Stone magazine featured them twice. One's called Only Love, and one is called There's Hope for Everyone. And they're both about COVID, and they're both about surviving it and everybody helping each other. And then I came down with COVID, which was a drag. I know you had it. I had it. It was something that we dealt with. We rolled through it, and then came out on the other side, and still waiting, trying to get a gig, and can't gather. And then Melissa Etheridge's manager called, and he said, listen, we're going to try to go on the road. Although there's insurance companies and there are club owners and promoters that don't really want to lose their shirts on this. They sell the ticket, and then all of a sudden you can't gather. So it was this real weird little area of, can we go? No. Yes. No. Okay, we're going to go with this club owner or this person. So they put together a series of dates, and we started. And we went to, the first one was in Los Angeles, and we went 3 weeks ago to LA, played a one-nighter. Wow. And everyone was social distancing, and it was very odd. It was odd, but it was cool. It was great to play again. And we were all excited. Melissa was totally excited, thrilled. And then we came home, regathered. They did more phone calls and bookings, and we got another one in Cabo.
Wow. That's a good place. Yeah.
Where Sammy Hagar is.
Yes.
Yeah. Cabo
yeah,
Wabo.
A lot of tequila down there, right?
That's
where it's at.
So we went down there and drank some tequila and played some shows. No, one show, really, just one show. I'm just making it seem like it's bigger than it is. We did one little show, but it was great. And then we flew back, and now we're waiting. In 1 month, we're going to go on this big tour, and it's going to be all over the U.S. We're going to do, I think, 3 months.
Wow.
3 months of touring. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's a good size tour. I noticed that people are starting to get back into it. I've been paying attention to the tickets and things like that. I believe it or not, our good friend Cindy Blackman, Cindy Blackman Santana, they're supposed to be playing just up the road in Germain Arena. Actually, now it's Hertz Arena, and they're going to be playing. I reached out to her and see if I can hook up with Cindy. She's going to be playing the drums for her husband Carlos. Big tour.
I love Cindy. Oh my God! Remember we used to hang with Cindy.
Cindy is the best. She's one of my favorites. I actually had her scheduled to be on the podcast, but a couple people got involved, and next thing I know, I'm texting and emailing to agents and things like that on the side. So I'm going to get hooked back up with her, and hopefully we can get her on. But she is the best. Cindy Blackman.
Wait, let me see if I understand this. So you went with Cindy, and then you couldn't get Cindy, so you decided, okay, I'll talk.
That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened.
Man, that story.
Yeah, we go with David Santos. I guess he's there though. But no, really, what happened was I saw that you were out playing, and I wanted to make sure that we had you on. Because I know Melissa's been down in this area, and you've been playing with her for a couple of years now prior to COVID,
6
right?
years.
Yeah, 6 years. God, time flies.
Yeah.
So, let's talk a little bit about who you've played with. As far as when I say played with, I mean
music,
bass. Yes, exactly. Music.
Okay. I'm glad you saved me. I almost started.
So yeah, you've told me some good stories, but give us a couple people who you play with. Elton John, Billy Joel.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the long story again, or the quick condensed story?
I like the long ones. I like the long
story.
Yeah.
All right. Born in Tampa, Florida. When I was young, I was in a band with my brothers. My brothers and I had rock bands in the '70s, early '70s, and I guess I'm old, but yeah, we played Hendrix and Beatles, Zeppelin, all that stuff. And we were together in playing situations out in the garage, out back, in the bedroom, just all kinds of love and playing great music. And the Beatles was a big thing. Beach Boys, Rolling Stones, Motown, all the, great stuff. So then time passes and you grow up, and then one person gets a career doing something else and the other. And then we sort of broke up, and I moved from Tampa, Florida to Las Vegas. I was 20, and I got a call to go play in these casinos and these sort of seedy things. Got in some trouble with the police.
Popo gotcha. I'm retired now, Dave. I'm retired. I can't get you now. The Popo gotcha.
That's awesome. Well, it wasn't real trouble, just stuff, drinking and partying too hard at night. Then I decided, I'm not really down with this Vegas thing. Moved back to Tampa, regrouped, started playing around town and doing what you do when you go back to your hometown, playing jazz and rock and roll in clubs. And then I said, nah, this isn't it either. I'm moving to New York. So I moved to New York. My father passed away, and I moved to New York. When I got to New York, it was like, the 80s, and it was time to really, really get serious about making it, So I was all day and all night and being in every playing situation that would come. I'd play blues in clubs all night, rock and roll all day in rehearsal studios, jazz gigs when I could, whatever, weddings, any party would come up, anything. I played in the subway with an acoustic guitar and the guitar case open, and people would come by and go, yeah, right, buddy.
Give me a buck. Give me a buck.
And it was cold in New York.
Oh, brutal,
cold, man. And I had so like a jacket, and guys go walk by, go laughing at you. But I did that. So then,
especially a Tampa boy.
And then as time passed, I got the Billy Joel gig. No, well, actually, let me back up a little.
You don't go from the subway. You go to the subway to playing at fucking Billy Joel gigs.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You do that.
How's that work?
In New York, you do.
Billy saw you on the subway.
No, well, this one guy did see me in the subway, I have to say. Brian Kramer, he was a blues guitar player, and we met and we made a record with a guitar player from the Rolling Stones, and Steve Jordan was playing drums, and this wonderful legend, Junior Wells, on harmonica. And we did a blues record, so the subway led to things.
Great.
And, then at one time, let me just get to how I got with Billy Joel, because that's important.
No, I like that one.
That's a good story. So the basics of it is you scuffle and you do everything you can, and you try to make the rent, and then you go out and play and practice all day and play and practice all day, try to make the rent. And this goes on and on and on and on, and you starve and you eat, ramen noodles. We used to call them ramen noodles as a joke, but you eat three for $1, you can fill yourself up.
Yeah.
All you young musicians,
You can buy a case of them for $4, a whole case, 24-pack.
Peanut butter works good, and crackers. That's a good one.
Yeah.
It fills you up.
Peanut butter. Whole Foods.
Whole Foods. Chocolate. But you got to get the kind that has sugar in it. You don't want to eat that chocolate that's like baking chocolate.
Yeah, that's a crazy story there. That's funny.
Anyway, so then okay. All right. So I'm in these rehearsal things, and one guy calls me up and he says, "Hey, Phoebe Snow's looking for a bass player. You have to audition, but would you be interested?" I said, "Yeah, man. Phoebe Snow, she was this wonderful artist. She's passed away now, but she's fantastic. Got lots of records out, and maybe 20 albums out. She's really amazing." And I joined her band, and that was my first world tour. I went on tour with her, Japan, Australia, New Zealand, and experienced that whole thing.
What an experience. Yeah,
how to travel. Yeah, I learned that from Phoebe Snow. We hung a lot for about 2 years. And that went on. Tommy James and the Shondells called me. I did that. There's we call that the oldie circuit, which I loved, by the way. I love that circuit. That's something that people.
And you were young back then. I mean, that was 40 years ago. So, right. You were in your 30s. I mean, it was great.
Yeah, it was 30s for sure. Yep. Money. That was a big hit.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And Crystal Blue Persuasion. He had these amazing songs, oh God,
great tunes.
Great tunes. There 10 of them that you go, that's Tommy James and the Shondells, Okay, so that kept me alive doing the the Tommy James gigs. Phoebe ended, and whatever, and I went on with Tommy. Did that for quite a while. And then that, of course, wasn't enough money. You're just barely hanging on. You're getting older. It's cold. You're still trying to make it. So I need something better. I got into a regular job of playing weekends wedding work.
Okay.
And you get in your car and you drive,
You take your case. Did you actually have to carry your shit back then, or were you above that?
Yeah, it was shit, too. I was using crappy. No, I'm kidding. You get your bass. And you walk in, "Hi, I'm here to play." Oh,
where do I stand?
Yes.
And the bass player is like the guy that's stuck in a corner and he's not allowed to move. Does the band leader tell you, "Please stand over here and don't move"?
Yes. Yeah. You're the bass player. Oh my God! One time I had my wisdom teeth pulled, and it was a horrible situation. The guy was yanking on my teeth and put his knee on my chest. I can't get this thing out, man. And we're gonna have to go down to an oral surgeon. He dragged me down the street in Brooklyn. Oral surgeon, and blood is dripping out of my mouth, and I'm he's sedated, and he puts me in this chair, and the guy goes, "Oh God, man, what did you do in there?" He really just destroyed my mouth. And then he's struggling, and then he brings in this beautiful nurse that was 350 pounds, and she had large breasts that were huge. And I'm a breast man. Yeah. So it was So he puts my head between her breasts, and she's got it like this, and my head is
just started pulling.
No, it was more yanking like that. He said, "Listen, if you feel your jaw is about to break, let me know. Raise your left hand, okay? If it's going to break, you can tell as your jaw is going to break." I was like, "Okay." And so we finished that up. My mouth was ripped. And I went to a wedding gig after that. Drove across the George Washington Bridge. And while I'm on the bridge with all this pain and the meds I'm on, I get nauseous. and I'm like a tuxedo, and long hair, and I'm like, and I threw up all over myself. That was like an exorcist scene, like green stuff all over my tux.
That's where Billy Joel found you.
That's right.
That's where he got you.
So I walked in, and the guy goes, bass player? I said, yes, nice to meet you. And he goes, bathrooms that way.
Oh, God.
So when I came out, they stuck me in the corner. So that does happen. But anyway, how I got the Billy Joel gig. So I went on one of these wedding gigs like that, and I was playing, and actually was warming up, getting my sound. You see the amp here? That's my bass amp there.
Yes, right to the left.
And,
yeah. Oh, that's a nice one there. Yeah.
And I plugged my guitar in there, and there's a horn section up there. I never met these guys. And a great drummer who played with David Bowie. He's standing behind me, and all these guys are over here, there, and that. And I'm like getting ready, and I'm getting my sound, and boom, 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 boom. I'm playing a few notes, and the sax player, Mark Rivera, who plays with Billy Joel, I didn't know him. He turned around, and he liked something about me. There was something about what I was doing in the moment on the bass to get my tone that he liked, and he just smiled at me. So I smiled back,
and there it was.
We played the gig. I went home to my apartment. He went on his way. 2 years went by. The phone rang. We had that little exchange, that eye contact thing. It was just a moment, literally, and we didn't talk at all. It was just, he turned around and he went, yeah. I played some funky bass line. So he calls me up. And he says, and I'm sitting with some girl like on the couch, like, yeah, so this is my apartment. What do you think? And on the phone, I hear
the phone ring.
The phone rings all the way at the end of the New York City apartment. And and I jump across her legs, and she's like, what? Because I heard him say the word Ringo. Like
you remembered it.
This is lovely. Isn't my apartment nice? So you look lovely tonight. And I hear the phone ring. And I said, don't worry about that. So yeah, would you like some champagne? I hear Ringo. I went, and I jumped across her lap.
And you're like, oh, because it was probably one of those answer machines back in the day that would pick up. Yeah, you probably still got one of those, Dave. For some reason, I know you're a tech guy, but you probably still got one of those.
There it is, right there. I got it right. So I run.
Who was on the phone?
Hey. What is this? Hello? And it was that sax player, Mark Rivera. He said, David, you remember me? We did a wedding gig together upstate New York. You remember? And we looked at each other and kind of like vibed for a second. You remember that? I said, yeah, I do remember that. He said, man, well, Ringo, I'm in a band with Ringo. It's called Ringo's All-Star Band. And it had all these legends in the band. The bass player from The Who. And, all these guys. And Ringo is leaving the band because his daughter is sick. This was really happened. And he says the band can stay together, but John Entwistle doesn't want to do it without Ringo. So, they
opportunity.
Me.
Opportunity. Yeah, exactly.
And I'm in that band. And it was like unbelievable. I never made money like that in my life. I was a Subway guy,
Yeah. So, okay, so the first time you played, do you guys play like with Billy Joel there, like step in, or do you guys play and then he comes the first time he's there? How does that work? Like the first time you're like looking over and you're like on stage with Billy, and he kind of walks over to you and he's like, "Who the fuck is this?" And then you're like, you start like acting like you're cool with it, or you just like.
Who the fuck is this? That's about it. Yeah. So okay. Well, okay. So that ring
was Billy then. I mean, was he like as
Billy was huge then? We played.
Billy was huge.
It was like 15 nights in a row at the Garden. Like it was.
Holy shit!
And
yeah.
Then,
so you
go
you go to Subway, to the wedding, to Billy Joel.
Well, no, Ringo.
Oh, Ringo. Okay, I got you.
So then the Ringo thing. Okay.
Oh yeah, you had the look. Yep. Okay.
The Ringo thing. So
but on stage, I'm not to cut you off, but you look over and there's Billy.
Well, Billy comes in now. Here's how Billy comes in. So I go where the guy who was playing drums instead of Ringo was Liberty DeVito, who was Billy Joel's drummer for 35 years and a legend in his own right. He was playing drums. So we went to the steam room together, and we're in the steam room, and they're the Mark Rivera and here above me, and they're talking back and forth, and I'm sitting down like this. And one guy says to the other, "Hey, Billy's talking about touring again, but the bass player's not going to go, man." And I'm sitting there like,
your ears went, boom.
The bass player's not going to go. Yeah, he's going to tour with Elton John. It's going to be the two of them together. Gosh, yeah, I know. It's going to be a huge tour. Year and a half. Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, we've got to get a bass player. Ding.
Ding.
Quiet. Steam everywhere. They're back there. Okay, guys, listen, I'm going to go. I'll see you at sound check. I'll see you later. And I go run to my room, pick up the phone, call, and I say, get me to a CD store immediately. Call a cab. The cab comes. I jump in. He takes me to 2 CD stores. I load up all the Billy Joel, all the Elton John CDs in the store, in a bag, bring them back to the hotel, dump them on the bed, and look at them. Oh, there we go. Get down to sound check, do the gig. I studied those CDs for a year and a half without telling anybody.
Wow.
And then it was time to tour. The timing was perfect. They called me and said, "Hey, you think you might want to play with Billy and Elton?" I said, "Yeah." So here's the answer to your question. I show up in New York City at the studio, and they're preparing for this giant taping of a thing called Storytellers, which is on YouTube. You can see it.
Okay.
And there's Billy Joel, and he walks up to me exactly like you said, and he said, "Who the fuck are you?" Exactly. It couldn't have been more.
More welcoming.
Yeah.
Couldn't be more welcoming. I mean, how much more welcoming could that be?
And you nailed it. You nailed it. That's exactly.
Yeah, I didn't hear that story.
You're on the inside track. And I said, "Hey, I'm here to play this gig with you." And he said, "You know my music?" And I said, Yes. Now they had given me 5 songs to learn, 5.
Right.
But I knew 150, 200.
Holy shit.
Yeah, because I had studied the CDs and stuff that I
You
bought.
said they're on CDs, but I'm thinking they were on 8 tracks back
They
then.
were on cassettes. They were on cassettes. And
Cassettes. Yeah, cassettes. All right, yeah.
Cassettes. There were some CDs.
No, that's amazing, though. It's a damn good thing that you did that. Obviously, you got where you were, and you start playing a little bit, or how's that go? How does he test you and see if you're good or not?
Well, what was the question again? Let's get right into the real. Give me.
Yeah. So you guys are there, and how does he test to see? What's the test to see if you're any good or not? I mean, does he like listen to the bass? You know.
That's a good question. Now you got to remember this. He's one of the biggest stars in the world at the time.
Sure.
And it's like one of the best paying gigs that you could have at the time. And here I'm dying to have the gig. So I really, really want him to like me, of course, like you would, like we all would.
Yeah.
And so I do everything and say everything that I possibly can to make him like me, you know?
Yeah. Like, hey,
what to do. That's
great job singing that tune, you know?
Boy, you sounded good.
You sounded goddamn good, Billy. I've never heard you sound that good.
Man, and you're handsome. God, you look good in person.
But you like must have been up there just sitting there going, damn, this is real. This is the real shit, man. This is like, this is
it was the real shit.
That's awesome. Now, you did tell me a story. Now, you were with him for a while.
Oh, God.
A funny story one time.
Oh, good. It's a funny story. Oh, man. I thought you were getting into hotel rooms and weirdnesses.
No. Shit.
Okay.
That's way too deep for me. Okay. No, you told me that one time you had an opportunity to make a little extra money, and you kind of told me how you tried to explain that to Billy, and he's like, yeah. So fill us in on that story about how you kind of departed from Billy Joel.
Billy, are you there? Is Billy going to see that? Is he there in the room?
Billy remembers you very well, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. He forgot me the next day. 30 seconds later, the phone rang, and there was like 900 bass players there ready to take my gig. And they did.
Yeah, they did. So tell us a little bit about that.
It wasn't exactly like, you know, I need to make some more
like money. You told me.
Yeah. No. It was exactly like I told you. It was exactly like it. So, okay, I didn't need more money, of course, because the gig was paying great. It was Oh, okay. I'll tell you now that I'm remembering it. Because like you young bass players, if you happen to be watching this, or anyone, any musician, or anyone, real estate person or anything, you're trying to better yourself. You're trying to advance through the ranks, and there's certain income, the hierarchy, and you get more money as you do better or sell better or whatever, right? So
Right.
I was with Billy, and we were backstage at the Garden under there, in your little room back there where you're dressing up. And there was a television there, and whatever. This was the Knicks play, and Billy comes in, and he says, "Hey guys, gather around, gather around." So we get up and come around. He's standing in the middle. Liberty and I are standing there, and we're, yeah. And he goes, "I'm retiring." And everybody,
Really?
wait, what? Wait a minute. You start thinking, wait a minute, Billy Joel band without Billy Joel. So there is no gig. So he says, yeah, I listen, I wanted you to see it, hear it from me, because the TV, I'm going to be down the hall with Peter Jennings announcing this in a few minutes. And I didn't want you to see it on the TV. So I'm just telling you myself, I'm retiring. So, hey, if I were you, I'd find other gigs. You know what I'm saying? I would find another gig if I were you. Basically, that's what I'm saying in his New York way. You know what I'm saying? Find another gig.
You're on your own.
You're on your own. I'm fucking retiring over here. That's what I'm doing. So I got on the phone and I found something, right? So it wasn't like I needed more money. He warned us, and I went looking. And I'm an action kind of guy, like you rose to the top of the real estate thing. I follow you. I see what you're doing. I know what you're doing. And we all hustle. We work hard. I'm like that. And I got with this lady, and she was an agent. And she said, "Man, you'd be perfect for this television show. You're young and handsome." Long time ago, and you'd be good for this thing where you're going to, like, back and forth with the host, like David Letterman and Paul Schaefer. Yeah. Yeah. Let's do it. What do I do? Okay, you got to audition. Well, I'm on tour with Billy Joel. He hadn't finished, the tour. He was letting us know at the end of the tour, I'm retiring. So I take these flights all the way, in the morning, get up, get a flight, go to New York, put a band together, fly back, play the gig with Billy Joel. But it's on the down low. I don't talk about it. We don't talk about things.
Smart.
Okay, then I fly to the next city with Billy, get up in the morning, fly my butt to New York City, put up more work the band, then fly back, play the gig with Billy. And this is working out great. Now it's time for an audition. And I auditioned for this television show as the featured person. I bought some new suits. I'm ready to go. And that's $1,000 a suit, man. That's, I bought a bunch of them. And I'm ready to go. And I flew back and forth. And then audition day. And I auditioned. It worked out. They loved me. There were 40 people auditioning. Now it was down to me and one guy. Oh, fly back to the gig, play with Billy. Next day, phone rings. It's the guy, the producer, Merv Griffin. You ever hear of him?
Yeah, I've kind of heard that name before. Yeah.
Hey, listen, we need you to be in New York City on this date. It's only this date. It's the only date you can audition. It's going to be the screen test. We want to see how you interact with the star, and you against the other one guy. Oh, what date is it? I had a concert with Billy Joel.
Oh,
80,000 people at a stadium in St. Louis. I said, I can't do it. I have a concert. You can't do it. I said, no, I'm sorry. I can't do it. After like 4 auditions, well, we'll go with the other guy then. I said, oh, man, wait a minute.
You're killing me. Right?
I said, wait a minute. Hold on a minute. So I call Billy's manager and I level with him. I tell him the truth, and he says, dang, that's a pretty good opportunity. Man, so let's see if we can get you a Learjet. I said, okay, let's do the Learjet thing. He calls me back in 10 minutes. No, not going to make it there and back by the downbeat of the concert. Not going to work. There's one other option. There's a helicopter thing we could do. It might be faster. How about that? Yeah. So he tried. It didn't work out.
Right.
The only thing you can do now is talk to Billy.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
I said, shoot, really? Okay. So he set up a meeting under the stadium. I went down there. He had his suit in the corner. He was steaming it, and getting ready. And then, but he looked at his watch when I walked in. He was, oh, okay. Hi, David. Yes. Sit down. 2 couches, a nice little coffee table. I sat down across from Billy Joel, and I can't believe I'm telling this story. Don't pass this around.
Don't pass this around.
Oh, man.
No pissed at you, I heard.
Well, he's sitting across from me there, and I say, he goes, "What's up?" He's busy.
Yeah, he's got to move.
Yeah, and I go, okay. Well, Billy, listen, man, and I'm paraphrasing. I got jammed up on something, and it looks like I'm having trouble making one of your concerts, and I wondered if is it okay if I send a sub to one show? Can I get a guy? Will Lee, my friend Will Lee said he could do it. The bass player on David Letterman. He'll be great. You won't even miss me. I'll coach him through the stuff. He'll have it, man. It'll be great. You'll just come on stage, play the show. It'll be like I'm there. He's better than me, actually.
80,000. Billy, honest, it'll be great. He said, "Perfect, Joe. Don't worry about it." I mean, Dave.
Yeah, right. That's the basic. Yeah, you got it. Yeah. What was your name again? I said. What was I thinking, Tim? What was I thinking?
Yeah. Well, no, you had an opportunity, and if he came to you and said, "Hey, you guys need to start preparing because I'm retiring,"
that's what I thought.
You were preparing, so you had the conversation.
Yeah,
and
it didn't go well. It didn't go well.
So I heard you said he was all good with it until like the next day, right? He called you, said, "Don't bother coming," or what?
He wasn't good with it until the next day. He wasn't good with it. You see, here's the thing. He is the guy that makes the decisions, but
sure.
There's a bunch of other people around in that orbit. There's, you know what I mean? There's
sure, big time.
Yeah, you're talking about millions of dollars of ticket sales. You're talking about insurance companies. You're talking about, management. You're talking about the lighting man, the sound man, all of his people that hang around with him. They're this little nucleus of people. They have his ear, and somehow I offended them all.
Right.
It didn't work out. I went and did the audition, and the bass player that filled in for me is still with him.
Oh, that makes does not make you feel any better, probably. But you got a nice house here, Dave. You live in Nashville.
Oh, man, you know what? Here's the thing. Here's the thing about that: getting fired or getting any of these things, losing a gig, losing a sale, or whatever it is you're trying to do in your life. You're going to have failures. You're going to have bad situations, hurdles. You're going to have all kinds of things, disappointments, major disappointments, struggles. You're going to have those, but it's how you react and what you do immediately after those that makes the difference in your life.
Right.
So I jumped right on another thing. I got right with John Fogerty, and I got the gig with John Fogerty from Creedence Clearwater Revival, which was
unbelievable.
Great. I was out of work for about a week, and I got on the road with John Fogerty, and it was great because he loved me. I loved him. We had great times together. We did 13 years together. I played on 4 albums. I experienced a lot. And there was a time in between all of that where I went with Crosby, Stills, and Nash because John took 2 years off. And Crosby, Stills, and Nash was great. And I had great times with them. So had I not lost the Billy gig, I would not have experienced John Fogerty's genius and wonderful artistry and all those wonderful songs and that touring experience of what it's like to tour with him. And then Crosby, Stills, and Nash. And I got in with the Neville brothers on another break. So those are experiences that I would not have had I hung on to the Billy gig with them for dear life, man. Yeah.
Right. And then Billy was supposed to retire. So how long did that last? Short period, I'm sure, right?
Oh man, he didn't retire. It's in his blood. He's not going to retire. I love Billy though. If he ever called me back, which he won't, I'd love to come back and play with him. I'd love it.
Great. Yeah, some great. Yeah, he may call you after. I know he's going to be watching this.
After he sees Uncensored, he's going to call me.
Yeah, absolutely, Billy. I'm asking you right now, Billy. Please give Dave another shot at it. I promise he'll be at all the gigs, and it'll be great.
Now, you know what? I would like to officially apologize to Billy Joel, to you, Billy, if you happen to see this, for doing that. I was just young and dumb, trying to get myself ahead. So that's what I did.
Understandable. Now let's go back a little bit. You played 80,000 people. You played to 10 people all through your career. Yeah. What's kind of like the best size audience and kind of like the coolest venue? Two-part question that you've ever played in. Do you have one place that you were like in the groove and just felt everything was lined up that you remember vividly?
Yeah, I like the large places for different reasons that I would like the small places. And I just played a little club a couple nights ago. It was a R&B gig in a bar, and I loved it. And it felt great. I was right up next to the drummer. I could hear everything he was doing. It was fun. The front man was exciting and fun. He was bonding with the audience, and it was great. It was just a small $100 little gig thing that I did, and it was great. I loved it. I would do that any day, all day, every day if I could.
It's true. Yeah, you're true to the music. Yeah,
it's true. And then the experience is easy. I slept in my own bed. But then on the other hand, with Melissa, for example, who is my employer now and has been for 6 years, I enjoy going places with her. I love her fans, and I love her and her family and the band. The band is great, and I really great guys. There's only 3 of us, organ, bass, and drums, and she plays guitar. And
wow.
Max is the organ player, and Eric is the drummer, and I'm the bass player, and she plays all the guitars. She's an amazing guitar player. And so it's fat and full and fun, and she sings her butt off. So that's a large venue gig, although we play smaller places too. At this point in the COVID thing, we're playing 3,000 seaters to 5,000 seaters. And although there's discussion of a large bigger venue type of thing happening. And so I like all of that stuff. The big stars that play those giant venues can be sometimes, not all of them, but they can sometimes be a little more aloof and sort of busy with other things. And the smaller kind of intimate, where we're all in the same bus together, that can bring other intimacies together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can talk and have a good time after the show, before the show. It's kind of like you're a family and you're rolling out versus show up, be here, I'm playing, I'm done. Exactly. You're on. Yeah, no, absolutely.
I couldn't have said it better. Yeah, she'll get right on the bus. We all get, we go right off the stage into the bus while they're loading up, and we sit and we have some food and talk and have some laughs or talk about the show or not. We just talk about anything. And we just sit in the front lounge and we just sort of hang out in this bus, which is our rolling home, as you said. We have bunks,
right.
And they're condo bunks, so they're larger, higher bunks,
And those buses are nice. They're nice.
They're really nice things.
Nice. I just bought one of those big RVs. I got me a big freight liner. Yeah, Class C. That thing freaking rolls down the road, man. It's awesome. It's like a rolling condo. It's like huge. You got a bath and a half, shower. I mean, it's nice. I'm going to come up and visit you.
Let's do a road trip.
Let's do it. Come on,
man. Let's grab a couple of 6-packs.
Yeah. Let's do it. We're going to do it. So it's been tough with the COVID, but we're glad you're back out on it.
Okay.
We've been friends for a long time. We had a great experience way back when, driving around and landing and taking care of you guys. It was just a fun time.
Mark Long.
Yeah. We had a great time. And we were down in New York City. It's still funny because on your the picture that you have as your profile picture is a picture I took. So, you've got people taking pictures of you every day, and you chose my picture. I mean, you probably didn't know it, but that was mine. I was just last weekend, and my daughter's moving to Brooklyn. We got to move her next week in Brooklyn. Yeah, okay. Albee Square area. So it's Brooklyn's really cool. She's in a nice building. She got a great job with Adobe Systems in New York, Times Square. So it's a real exciting time. So exciting.
Tell her I said good. Brooklyn is the perfect choice. That's where I lived, and I loved it.
Yeah, no, it's badass there. It was really weird though. It's like at about 2:00 in the afternoon, I hear this motorcycle revving up. Wah, wah, wah. I look, and there's a guy doing a wheelie right down the middle of the street with about 45 other ATVs doing the same thing. And I look over at the law enforcement officers, the NYPD, God bless them. I look over at them, and I'm sitting there going, they go, yeah, there's nothing we can do. So it's like, and I'm like, where do these guys come from? It's like, boom, they come down the road doing wheelies, having a wild time.
But it's incredible.
Yeah, I was very surprised though. New York seems like they're opening up and things are getting a lot better for them up there right now. So it's good.
That's good. I got a cop story for you in New York.
Oh goodness!
All right, a cop story. I know you're not a cop anymore.
Right. But, did you run him?
It was late, 3:00 in the morning one night. I was coming home, and we drove. You know, my roommate and I, we had cars, which is rare in New York. We drove. We actually, had to get up in the morning. And outside, which is a really intense experience. And I came home, as I said, about 3 a.m, and I hear this crashing sound to my left, and I look over there, and it's a guy. There's a guy. He's got a backpack on, and he's in my girlfriend's car, and he's going through like.
He's looking for stuff. He's not looking for a place to sleep. He's looking for stuff, right?
Yeah, loading it up, And I'm watching this. I'm like, wait a minute, what? And so this is before cell phones. There's a phone booth right there. Of course, I run over and call 911. There's a guy in my girlfriend's car right now. I'm looking right at him. This is New York City stuff. And that she, of course, she asks me way too many questions. It takes way too long. You got to give her all this info, my name, my address, my history. And what was the name of my first dog? All these different questions.
Right.
He's loading up. He's already out of the car and moving, and he's moving quickly.
He's at the pawn shop right now, selling his stuff.
And I'm talking to this lady. I'm like, the guy's leaving. Just send the cop over now. So. The cops get there, and he's gone, way gone. He knows how to be gone. He's gone. He's vapor,
Right, sure.
And I'm just like standing there, and they're two guys, they pull up, and these guys see everything. Tim, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
These are New York City cops.
They see it all. There's nothing left behind with those guys.
There is nothing they haven't seen. Nothing. So they pull up, and the guy is idling, and he hits his window down, and he's just kind of leaning back, and he goes, "What's up?" I said, "Oh."
I just stole all my shit, and he's at the pawn shop now.
He went that away. And the guy's like, "Man, what do you want me to do? Like, what do you want me to do?" He's real New York. He's just like, "What do you want me to do? Really?"
Stop the guy.
I said, if you'd have gotten here 10 minutes ago, you could have stopped him maybe.
Yeah.
And then what? Then we put him in the court, and they get right out the next morning. It's, we don't even bother with those guys. Really. What? I said.
He's got my shit.
He's got my shit. My girlfriend's shit. Important shit. And so he says, listen. This is the story that you want to hear, Tim. I said, what would you have done? Well, what I had done? He looks at his buddy, and the two of them look at each other, and they go like this. He goes, what would I have done? And the other guy just sitting there. He goes, and I go, yeah. He goes, I would have beat the shit out of him with a baseball bat if I was you.
A little street justice, maybe. Street justice. Oh God, that's perfect. Like you said, those guys have seen it all. So your call is real crucial to them, but to them, that's just unless it's someone getting killed right there, you're wound up.
Yeah, do it yourself. Do it yourself.
Do it yourself. You know what I would have done? I would have beat the shit out of him. What the hell you think I would have done? No, it's good times. It's good times.
Oh, sorry to laugh.
Oh, no, that's great. Well, Dave, it's been great having you on. I want to have you on more. When you actually let's do one of these when you're out on the road.
When I'm sober.
Yeah, when you're sober, that's no fun either. I called you this morning like I got to get some coffee. I got to put my makeup on.
I'm joking. I don't drink. I don't drink.
I've been around you. I've never seen you drink before.
No, that was a musician. I'm trying to show that musicians are really.
Yeah, you try to be tough guy on it. You got to have like a, and we didn't really talk about too much about that. About like your, after hours parties and things like that. So we really need to pick up on that at some point.
You know what I did? I went to my hotel room and got in bed up under the covers like that and went to sleep.
Did you turn the air down to like 60? I'm gonna be comfortable.
Absolutely.
So yeah. So when you get out there and you have a chance, give us a call when you're there. Do you have a date now for your next one or?
Yeah, August 5th, first show, and then we go straight. I mean, we're going straight through till September. It's like 14th. Then only going to take a week off because she has to do some stuff with her kids, and then right after that little kid vacation thing, we go again straight into Christmas.
Oh wow, that's great! That's fantastic. Well, I'm glad you're back in track and up and rolling, and it's great seeing you, Dave. Thank you very much.
You're looking good, buddy. How you getting that tan going like that?
Hey, I had a chance to go out in the boat, enjoy myself. Life is good. This retired life is great. I love it.
Retired. How old were you when you retired? If you don't mind me asking.
I was 54. That was April. So, 54.
Why would you retire at 54? Goodness gracious, you don't get your
Social
Security.
I got a little bit going on, as you know. I got a little real estate broker. I got offices in Tampa and Naples here. I'm up to like 45 agents. So we're going that route. But I'm going to probably work a few more years. I really like doing the 239 Uncensored podcast. I've got a couple other bigger things in my mind that I'm looking at doing in the near future. So this is really fun though. I like to turn hobbies into fun, I think. And it's a good opportunity to do that now. So I've got a really nice studio. We're doing some podcasts, we're doing some video things. So it's more of just fun. I think I'll probably work work hard, I should say, till about 60 and then probably hang it up and then go take my RV out and cruise around a little bit.
Oh, you think is there enough money in your income portfolio and all that stuff to do that at 60? Just go on the road and just have fun?
Yeah, I used to play bass like in high school, so I think I'm gonna probably try to do that.
You're gonna get back to bass? Oh my God!
So I might go out to Nashville, looking for some lessons. I used to stand in the back and play bass. I mean, I didn't even know any notes. I would just listen to the music and just every time I thought I was playing drums.
That's what I did with Billy.
Yeah, exactly. And look at you. You went from the Subway to Billy Joel.
It worked.
It worked great. It's great. No, we're having a lot of fun. And like I said, the real estate is great. I got some great agents. The podcast stuff is good and looking to take that up a notch. And I got a few things up my sleeve for some future endeavors.
Let me ask you this. What would a guy like me have to do to work for you? Like, how can I, if I decide not to play music anymore next year or 2 years from now, what do I do?
You pack your shit up and get down here to Naples. You know where that's at. I'm going to Tampa, I think. Yeah, this weekend I'm going to Tampa. It's a couple hours up there. You come down here, we'll put you to work. We got all kinds of stuff for you to do. So you can either do real estate or you can do the media side. You can do interviews. You can whatever you want to do. You got it. Open door.
See, for you. Everybody, I'm taking Timmy up on this. That's my retirement. Yeah,
let's do it, buddy. Let's do it. And when I can even come up to Nashville to you. My daughter's wanting to move to Nashville, so
really?
That's a good thing. Yeah, she's in Atlanta now, but she's really wanting to go to Nashville.
How many daughters do you have?
I have 2 daughters. Okay. One in Atlanta, and the other one's going to be moving to New York here in the next couple of weeks. Yep. So it's exciting.
Did she get an apartment? Sorry to keep talking, but did she get her apartment in Brooklyn? Yeah,
she's got her apartment. It's like I said, Albee Square, right down near downtown Brooklyn. Super nice place.
I know it.
12th floor, expensive as shit, but she's got a great job. So we're happy for her. We're happy for her. Yep.
So give her my best, and thank you everybody for paying attention to this.
That's great. But I really appreciate it, Dave. And let's stay in touch. And when you get out on the road, definitely give us a call. You can do it on your phone. We can do it anyway. And just let us know how you're doing. And be careful out there. All right?
239 Uncensored.
Woo! All right. 239 Uncensored. Everything Southwest Florida and beyond. And thank you, David Santos, world premier bass player for many different groups. Just think where he would have been if he was with Billy right now. I'd rather be with Melissa. I'll be honest with you. She's better. Woo! All right. We are out.